Back over that Weather Center. Time now for that full weather forecast with our chief meteorologist, Dan Cianca. Hi, Dan.
Hey, Maxwell. You remember those old Foster's beer commercials where they're like, how to speak Australian, and then it showed like a piece of parsley and it's like salad. Remember those?
A little bit.
Yeah. So here's what I got one for you. How to speak Californian. What do you call like a whole bunch of helicopters, like together?
I don't know.
Helicopters. All right. Let's get to the weather. Here's a live look from Domenico's on the Wharf tonight. We got a little fog out. We're having a little fun out here tonight, folks, because it's foggy, and you know, we don't want to get gloomy. We're trying to fight the gloom. That's really what it is. Okay, we've got some gloom out there tonight, and a little bit of fog, a little drizzle here and there. I mean, a lot of people kind of like that, so it's kind of that clam chowder weather. We're back into it again. It's summertime. We're used to it. One of the reasons we've got some cooler weather is, well, we've had some cooler air aloft over the last couple of days. This big trough has been passing by. And now the ridge to the west is starting to move in and push down a little bit on our marine layer. Now, today we're actually seeing it rise a bit. There obviously are some complex interactions with the low to the south. So we're briefly deepening tonight, but the ridge is adding some stability to the lid on the marine layer. And I think that is going to be the case here over the next couple of days and keep those clouds around for us on the coast. On top of that, our surface winds are much weaker. It was pretty windy over the last couple of days. That helped mix in a lot of the clouds, or mix out a lot of the clouds in the marine layer. And we're not going to have those winds over the next couple of days. It'll be breezy, but not extremely, windy. The other thing is the wind made the water a lot colder by allowing for some upwelling. So when you blow wind along the surface of the water, it actually starts to pull, it causes the water to rise. It's kind of the, just by moving the top of the water, it creates a pressure void. It's kind of the opposite of how our sea breeze forms in the air, but it causes this upwelling, and that cooler water from down below in the depths of the abyss rises to the top and cools our sea surface temperatures. It's pretty chilly out in the bay right now. Some of the buoys are down to around 50 degrees, which is pretty cold water. So on top of that, you've got extra cold water, you have higher moisture content, less wind, some stability added from the ridge off to the west, and that is a recipe for more clouds on the coast. They're going to stick around for the next couple of days. Maybe not the whole week, though. By the end of the week low pressure aloft and the ridge retreating might start to mix the marine layer back out a little bit again. Temperatures initially inland kind of warming up, and even though we have some weak low pressure over us, the overall air mass is going to be warming up toward the weekend. So I'm thinking we're going to see a little bit more sunshine toward the weekend for the coast, and the inland areas may be warmer on top of that. As we look at our future track overnight, low clouds fill back in, maybe a little bit of fog and drizzle over that. We already had a little drizzle in Salinas, mostly cloudy skies into tomorrow morning. And then as we head into the daytime hours tomorrow, some of those clouds are going to stick around the south and east sides of the bay, and we'll get some clearing into Santa Cruz and a little bit of clearing maybe in Monterey. We had a bit of that today. You could see a little bit on the east side of town. I know I said a little bit, a lot of it there, but you get the picture. Then tomorrow night, those clouds are going to fill back in, and some fog will be possible. As we look at our temps tomorrow, these are my updated numbers. Still looking at mid-80s in Boulder Creek. Compare that to Davenport tomorrow, 58 degrees. Santa Cruz, 69 if you're down on the water, maybe mid-60s in Capitola. Little cool. I did cool us down a little bit in Watsonville tomorrow. Have you a couple of degrees cooler than today, 65. Castroville, Marina staying in the 50s tomorrow, 50 or 65 in Salinas. Hollister, though, still pretty warm, 79 degrees, mid-80s, mid to upper 80s in the Santa Clara Valley. We're really looking at that temperature contrast right now. Monterey Peninsula, upper 50s to low 60s tomorrow. And then in the south, the Big South, Big Sur, looking at 67 there in the valley. Mid-70s in Carmel Valley, the Salinas Valley, mostly 70s. We'll get to the 80s right before King City. And I do have a couple spots topping out in the 90s tomorrow. So cooling on the coast tomorrow, probably still on Wednesday with clouds as well, and then a little bit warmer toward the end of the week with more seasonable readings, rather. Oh my goodness, we've got W sneaking in there. Through the weekend, there you go. That was that one was on purpose. That W, weekend. 7-day forecast for inland areas showing slightly cooler weather tomorrow, but also warming up as we approach the end of the week. Max, goodness gracious, save me here.